The drama starts with its male lead, Gu Chengze, who is the CEO of the Shenzhong company. He has an obsessive disorder and is extremely allergic to dirt. If there is no cleanliness around him, his health deteriorates. That's why he wants everything to be clean and perfect. Along with this, Gu Chengze absolutely dislikes people who lie. If someone lies, he gets a sneeze as a reaction, which lets him know that the other person is lying. Then we see the female lead, Li Yanshu, who is returning home after completing her fashion design studies abroad. After this, we see Jin Yun, who is changing his getup and running away from the company, because he is the sole heir of the Shenzhong company and the real grandson of Gu Chengze's grandmother. That's why Grandma wants Jin Yun to handle the company. But he is not at all serious about his work and is a playboy. He never attends company events, which is why he is running away from here, because there is an event at the company today as well. Li Yanshu's mom had divorced her dad. After this, her dad passed away, and now her mom had gotten married for a second time. Li Yanshu comes to her stepfather's house. Her stepfather already has a daughter named Junyao. She doesn't like Li Yanshu at all and always keeps creating trouble for her. That's why Li Yanshu's mom wants to get her married off quickly, so that she doesn't become a burden on her dad. But her dad doesn't think like that about Li Yanshu. He considers his own daughter and Li Yanshu to be equal. Daddy makes Li Yanshu the sales manager in his company. Junyao gets very angry about this and starts arguing with her dad about it. Dad says, "You are both my daughters and you are both equal to me." Then, he gives her a task and says, "If you can convince the Shenzhong company to collaborate with your company, then I will get you promoted." After this, Junyao goes to Gu Chengze's company with a lot of attitude and presents her proposal to him. But she had no manners at all, so he doesn't accept her proposal. After this, Gu Chengze goes on a blind date at his grandmother's behest. The girl who came to meet him was very late, and she also lied. "I was stuck in traffic, that's why I'm late." Gu Chengze knows from his reaction that she is lying. That's why he makes her wait for a long time as well. But that girl gets angry about this and says bad things to Gu Chengze before leaving. There, we see Li Yanshu. She had also come to meet a boy for marriage at her mom's behest, but she didn't want to get married, so she comes dressed in a way that the boy wouldn't like her. She goes there and orders the most expensive drinks and then starts talking to the boy about his property, salary, and bank balance. This makes the boy quite irritated. Li Yanshu ignores him and starts watching Jin Yun's video playing on the TV behind and says to the boy, "The one on the TV screen, he used to be my boyfriend, and I have left him now." Gu Chengze, who is there, also hears these things and thinks, "Who is this girl? Who is talking about me?" The boy gets irritated by Li Yanshu's words and throws a drink at her and says, "You are a very rude and arrogant girl." Just then, Gu Chengze comes to Li Yanshu. Seeing him, she messes up her makeup even more. And to show that boy, she starts acting as if Gu Chengze is her boyfriend. She tells so many lies about herself and Gu Chengze that hearing her words, Gu Chengze starts having reactions. His head starts spinning and Li Yanshu hugs him. Seeing this, the boy thinks that maybe she is telling the truth, that he is her boyfriend, so he leaves from there. After he leaves, Li Yanshu says to Gu Chengze, "Don't take this seriously. I was just acting." Gu Chengze was very troubled by all her words. Because she lied so much, he had a strong physical reaction and couldn't understand what to say or do. As Li Yanshu is leaving the restaurant, the staff asks her for the money for the drink. Li Yanshu tells her, "He is my boyfriend. Ask him for the money." Now Gu Chengze has to pay her bill. When Li Yanshu comes home, her mom asks about today's date, how everything went. But Li Yanshu doesn't give any answer. She remains silent. Just then, her stepsister Junyao says tauntingly, "You should get married. How long will you stay in our house? You have no male friend, nor do you have any female friend. You are a very useless girl." After hearing all this, Li Yanshu goes outside from there and gets very upset thinking about her words. Then Gu Chengze finds out about Jin Yun, that he is in some bar. He is on his way to get him when Li Yanshu collides with his car. This causes a slight injury to her leg, and she is unable to walk properly. Gu Chengze starts asking her, "Are you hurt badly?" But she was very sad, so she doesn't answer any of his questions. This makes Gu Chengze think that she is probably deaf and mute. He gives her some money for treatment and his card. Li Yanshu recognizes him as the same guy she met on the blind date today. But Gu Chengze doesn't recognize her because Li Yanshu had changed her appearance at that time. Then Gu Chengze goes to the bar to catch Jin Yun. As soon as Jin Yun sees that he has arrived, he runs away from there. When Gu Chengze finds him and comes to him, Jin Yun says, "Why are you always after me?" He says, "You are the new face of the Shenzhong company. You should realize your responsibilities." Jin Yun tells him, "I can't handle all this. I have no interest in business. business. Then he escapes from Gu Chengze and runs away. Then we see Junyao, who is very worried about her father's task. She had to make her company corporate with Shenshang Company, but Gu Chengze had refused. Just then, she sees Jinyun's video and thinks, if I go to him and get my contract signed, then my task will be completed. The next day, Junyao goes to meet Jinyun. She tells him, I want to tell you something about your ex-girlfriend Li Yanshu. Hearing this, Jinyun agrees to talk to her. Junyao hands him a contract and says, if you sign this contract, I will tell you everything about your ex-girlfriend. She has arrived here. After this, Junyao takes that contract to Gu Chengze and says with a lot of attitude, you refuse to sign this, but the new face of Shenshang operation has signed it, so you and I will work together now. Saying this, she starts to leave, but Gu Chengze stops her and says, next time you come here, keep your attitude a little lower and talk a little more properly. Junyao gets very angry at his words and leaves from there. Now Gu Chengze comes to ask Jinyun how he signed that contract without anyone's permission. But when he comes to Jinyun's house, he sees that he had drunk a lot in memory of Li Yanshu and was lying there in a very intoxicated state. Gu Chengze somehow brings him to his senses. Then Jinyun tells Grandma, their company is very good, that's why I signed the contract. Grandma scolds him. How can you sign a contract like this without asking anyone? You should have asked someone about this first. Gu Chengze tells him, you have signed this contract personally, so now you will handle it. Hearing this, Jinyun gets very scared and says, I have no interest in these things. I can't do this work. Grandma tells him, if you don't go to the office, then how will you learn business? From tomorrow, you have to go to the office. In the next scene, Junyao is shown, whom everyone is congratulating for getting the Shenshang Company's contract. She had now become everyone's boss there because she had been promoted. Then the next scene is of the Shenshang Company where a conference meeting is going on in which Jinyun is also present. But he had absolutely no interest in business and this meeting, so he was playing games on his phone. Just then, other people's eyes fall on Jinyun and they start to wander, seeing him playing games. Then we see the designer of the Han Company, Zhu Dan, who was very tense because now Li Yanshu had been hired for the designer post in her place. But Zhu Dan was very jealous of this, and she thinks of getting her post back. Li Yanshu comes to the office limping because last night she had injured her leg from Gu Chengze's car. Just then, Junyao comes to her and starts saying mean things to her and says, this is an office, not your home. You can't just come and go as you please. And show me the leave application for the 2 days you took off. She explains, I was not well, so I gave the leave application to uncle. Junyao says, I don't care whether you are well or not, but you are the designer of this company, and next week is a very important event for our company. I want all the designs by then. Li Yanshu explains, I have already made all the designs and I will submit the samples on time. And Zhu Dan overhears all their conversation. In the Shenshang Company, interviews are being held for a new designer. Zhu Dan also goes there for her interview, where she is asked, you are already working in the Han Company, so why do you want to join our company? She says, it is my dream to work in a big company, that's why I want to work here. But there wasn't much substance in her words, so she shows some designs on her phone, which she had stolen from Li Yanshu's cabin. And she shows those designs, claiming them to be her own. Those designs were quite good, so Zhu Dan is selected. Now both companies start working on making the same designs. Li Yanshu did not know yet that her designs had been copied. Then the event arrives, where those designs were to be displayed. There, Li Yanshu and Gu Chengze bump into each other. Just then, Gu Chengze's assistant starts sanitizing him and cleans him well. Li Yanshu finds this very strange, and she says something rude. Just then, Gu Chengze sees her and recognizes that she is the same girl who had collided with his car one night. He says to her, you are mute and deaf. How can you speak? Li Yanshu says, you didn't hear me speak, so you think I am mute, but that's not the case. He doesn't believe her words. He thinks that Li Yanshu was pretending to be mute and deaf to get money. Seeing her gait and her behavior, he also understands that she is the same girl who had once met him in a restaurant, and there she was lying by pretending to be his girlfriend. Then he leaves from there. Just then, his eyes fall on the design made by Li Yanshu, which was exactly like the design made by Zhu Dan. Gu Chengze is completely shocked to see it and asks to call the designer of that design. Just then, Li Yanshu comes there. Gu Chengze says to her, you are the one who came to the cafe in disguise, right? You are a #1 cheater, and every word of yours is a lie. Just then, the salesgirl tells Gu Chengze that the designer is Li. Hearing this, Gu Chengze says to Li Yanshu, oh, so you copied our design. To this, Li Yanshu says, stop your nonsense, this is my design. I don't need to copy anyone's design. Just then, Zhu Dan also comes there and reacts to Li Yanshu's design as if she didn't copy the design, but Li Yanshu did. And lying, she says, how can you copy my design? Seeing this, Li Yanshu is also very shocked because her design was exactly the same as Judan's design. Just then, reporters also arrive there, and Judan insults Li Yanshu a lot in front of everyone and says she copies others' designs. Gu Chengze also doesn't believe Li Yanshu at all because she had been lying to him from the beginning. Then Junyao also comes there, and she also gets to know about it. She was already looking for an opportunity to get Li Yanshu out of this company, which she got today. And talking about her company's reputation, she says, I don't want to spoil my company's image because of my sister. Li Yanshu has copied this design, so I am firing her from the company. After hearing this, the media starts harassing Li Yanshu even more. Just then, Jinyun comes there and sees Li Yanshu in trouble, so he takes her out of there, and then asks her, why did you leave me? Didn't you miss me even once? Li Yanshu tells him, your grandmother herself gave me money to leave you and I left you for the money. Jinyun says, if you needed money, you could have asked me. Li Yanshu says, if your grandmother hadn't given me money at that time, my studies would not have been completed, nor would any of my needs have been met. So in exchange for that money, I thought it was right to leave you. Hearing all this, Jinyun gets very angry at her and slaps her. Li Yanshu says, now you have taken out your frustration, now neither meet me nor talk to me. Saying this, she leaves from there. Then Gu Chengze gets to know from his secretary that Jinyun and Li Yanshu were in a relationship for 7 years, but Grandma tried to separate them. She gave money to Li Yanshu and asked her to stay away from Jinyun in exchange for money. Li Yanshu picks up the money and says to Grandma, is this the only value of Jinyun in your eyes? When you have more money than this, then talk to me about it. Saying this, she leaves from there. This means that Li Yanshu had not taken any money from his grandmother to leave Jinyun. And after this, she went abroad to study, and since then, Jinyun has been looking for her. Hearing all these things, Gu Chengzi understood that Li Yanshu has a lot of importance in Jinyun's life. Then he goes to get Jinyun, who was lying in a bar after drinking a lot. He picks him up from there and brings him home. Jinyun was repeatedly taking Li Yanshu's name in his intoxicated state. When Li Yanshu comes to her house, Junyao starts taunting her. You are such a shameless girl. You were not ashamed to copy someone's design. All her words hurt Li Yanshu a lot, and she leaves the house. Coming outside, she is missing her dad. Her dad used to drink a lot, due to which her mom left him and got married for the second time. After that, her dad died, and since then, Li Yanshu does not like her mom. Li Yanshu is very sad, so she goes to a bar and starts drinking. Just then, Gu Chengze comes to her and offers her a job in his company. But she rejects his offer because she felt that the blame of copying the design was on her because of Gu Chengze, so she didn't even want to see him and tells him, leave. Even after Li Yanshu repeatedly tells him, Gu Chengze does not leave. The people around there think from their conversation that Gu Chengze is bothering her. Just then, due to drinking, Li Yanshu falls into his lap, which clears their misunderstanding and they leave. She clings to Gu Chengze and vomits on him and also hits him with her slipper. Gu Chengze could not tolerate all this at all because he had a disorder, which caused his health to deteriorate. Gu Chengze asks his secretary to pick up Li Yanshu and take her away. But it was his secretary's girlfriend's birthday, so he doesn't listen to Gu Chengze and leaves. Gu Chengze is about to leave Li Yanshu outside the bar when he sees some boys looking at her with wrong intentions. Gu Chengze realizes that if he leaves Li Yanshu alone here, it will not be good for her. So he picks her up and puts her in his car. He did not know Li Yanshu's home address. He also tries to ask Li Yanshu about it, but she was so drunk that she doesn't say anything. So Gu Chengze brings her to his house. All of Li Yanshu's clothes were dirty due to vomiting, and Gu Chengze was not able to sleep properly because of her smell. He covers her with a sheet. Waking up in the morning, he goes to his office. When Li Yanshu opens her eyes, she is very shocked to see herself because her clothes had also been changed and she was in a different place altogether. Then she goes to the washroom and sees her clothes lying there. Seeing those clothes, Li Yanshu remembers the scene from last night, how Gu Chengze had bathed her with a blindfold on his eyes and changed her clothes. And remembering all this, Li Yanshu gets very angry at herself. Now, Li Yanshu had no clothes to wear, so she wears Gu Chengze's clothes and comes to the office. But she didn't even have money to give to the taxi driver. She goes to Gu Chengze's office and tells the reception that she needs some money. But the lady says, we can't give money to anyone like this. She tells them, call your boss here. But they refuse to do that too. So Li Yanshu starts creating a drama there and says, I have been at your boss's house since last night. He has thrown my clothes somewhere. When Gu Chengze gets to know about this, he immediately comes down and grabs Li Yanshu and takes her out of the office. All the colleagues are watching them. When they both come out, the taxi driver starts asking for money again. Li Yanshu tells him, "My boyfriend will pay the bill." Then, Gu Chengze pays his bill. When he sees that Li Yanshu is wearing his clothes, he gets very angry. He felt as if Li Yanshu had made his clothes dirty by wearing them. Li Yanshu says, "I thought that after spending a night with me, your feelings for me would have matured." Gu Chengze says, "I would have feelings for you? How much you lie. You are a kind of pollution." Just then, Li Yanshu kisses him and says, "Now how did it feel to be kissed by pollution?" Gu Chengze was very annoyed with her now and was very angry. He grabs her and takes her inside the office and asks, "What do you want after all?" Li Yanshu says, "I want the job you offered me yesterday." Gu Chengze didn't like her at all, but he thinks that to reform Jinyun, he will have to hire Li Yanshu. Li Yanshu tells him, "Give me the job of designer in charge in your company." But he keeps her as his assistant. Li Yanshu also agrees to this, and once again asks him for money because now she didn't have money to go back. But now Gu Chengze refuses to give her money. At this, Li Yanshu threatens him, "Now I have become your employee. If you don't give me money, I will go and tell everyone that you spent the night with me." He cannot tolerate all these antics of hers at all and faints right there. So Li Yanshu comes close to him to give him CPR. But by then, Gu Chengze himself regains consciousness and gets up in a panic and takes his medicines. Then he gives Li Yanshu money from his locker so that she can leave from there. When Li Yanshu returns home, she finds out that her mom has gone out of the city for a few days. After they left, Junyao had packed all her belongings, and then she insults Li Yanshu and kicks her out of the house. Here we find out that Junyao has hated Li Yanshu ever since she came to her stepfather's house after her dad's death, and she also wants to snatch the necklace given by her dad from her, which was very expensive for Li Yanshu. At Junyao's behest, Li Yanshu leaves the house. But now, where should she go? She didn't have any friends either. She had no other option but to go to Gu Chengze's house again, so she goes to his house and tells him, "I want to stay at your house for a day or two." But Gu Chengze flatly refuses and kicks her out of his house. Just then, Gu Chengze's neighbor friend comes and, seeing Li Yanshu sitting there, asks about her. Li Yanshu starts doing drama in front of him too and says, "I had a fight with my boyfriend and so now he is not letting me inside the house." Hearing this, he gets very angry and calls Gu Chengze outside and says to him, "How can you be so bad? How can you leave your girlfriend like this?" Li Yanshu also starts coming closer to Gu Chengze while acting. Gu Chengze explains to his friend, "She is not my girlfriend," but his friend thinks that he is saying all this in anger. When Gu Chengze does not agree to keep her at his house, his friend says, "If you don't let her stay at your house, then I will keep her in my house." At first, Gu Chengze agrees, but then he starts worrying about Li Yanshu. So he gives Li Yanshu permission to come into his room. Li Yanshu tells him, "I won't stay here for long. I'm just going to stay for a day or two." When Gu Chengze comes to the office in the morning, he is feeling very sleepy and some managers from another company have come to meet him. His secretary wakes him up. He tells him, "I haven't been able to sleep properly for 3 days because of that girl." Hearing his words, the manager is quite shocked. Gu Chengze had no idea that the people from the other company were right there listening to his words. Actually, what had happened at night was that Li Yanshu was sleeping on his bed. At first, Gu Chengze pushed her and made her fall off his bed, but later he found out that Li Yanshu had a fever. That's why Gu Chengze makes soup for her at night and takes care of her all night. Li Yanshu is talking in her sleep, "Dad, don't leave me." Gu Chengze says, Okay, Dad won't go anywhere," and he falls asleep right there. Then, Li Yanshu wakes up quite late on her first day at the office. In a hurry, she scatters all the clothes and things here and there and goes to the office. Here, Gu Chengze calls his doctor and tells him about Li Yanshu. He says, "When that girl lies to me, my body starts reacting a lot." The doctor says, "You keep taking medicine on time, everything will be fine, and I will also come and meet you in a few days." When Li Yanshu enters Gu Chengze's office, he tells her, "You are late on the very first day. If this continues, half of your salary will be deducted." Then he tells her the work. After she leaves, he calls Jinyun and asks him to come to the office. Gu Chengze had hired Li Yanshu so that Jinyun would also start coming to the office every day because of her. When Zhu Dan sees Li Yanshu in her office, she becomes very jealous, because it was because of Li Yanshu that Zhu Dan had left Han Corporation and joined Shenshang Corporation. And now, Li Yanshu had come here too, so she was feeling very uncomfortable. That's why she insults Li Yanshu in front of everyone, saying, "You copied my design. How can you get a job in this company?" Just then, the manager there tells Zhu Dan, "If you have any problem with this, you can go and talk to the boss about it." Then Li Yanshu tells Zhu Dan, "I want all the designs on time," because now she had become the manager of the designer department. Li Yanshu was now her senior, so Zhu Dan couldn't do anything. She quietly goes and sits in her place. Then Li Yanshu looks at some samples, which she had made herself. They were all going for production, but according to the design, their fitting was wrong. Li Yanshu knew her design well, so she says to stop further production. Jin-yun is in a meeting when Li Yanshu comes there, and they are both quite shocked to see each other. Jin-yun grabs her hand and brings her outside and says angrily, "Now you know that this whole company is mine. First, you left me for money, and now you have come to my company for money." He starts yelling at her a lot. Li Yanshu says to him, "Let me go," but when he doesn't let her go, she hits him and leaves. And Gu Chengze and his secretary are also watching all this. After this, Li Yanshu asks Judan to remake those samples because there were some flaws in them. Judan says, "All these designs have been approved, so I will not change them now." After this, we see Gu Chengze. When he comes to his house, he sees how Li Yanshu has scattered all the things here and there in his house. Seeing this, he gets very angry and starts shouting Li Yanshu's name. Here, Li Yanshu is sitting in a place and happily eating noodles. While eating, the noodles get stuck in her throat, so she says, "I don't know who is remembering me," but she doesn't know yet that Gu Chengze is waiting for her at home, in a very angry mood for the mess she made of the house in the morning. When Li Yanshu comes home, Gu Chengze is standing at the door to teach her a lesson. Seeing him standing there, Li Yanshu says, "You were waiting for me. Now my feelings for you have grown even more." Gu Chengze says in anger, "What is all this?" She says with an innocent face, "This all happened in a hurry in the morning, because I was getting late for the office." Gu Chengze says, "If you want to live in my house, then you will have to follow my rules too." Now Li Yanshu had no option, so she says, "I made all this mess, so I will clean it up myself." Gu Chengze makes her clean his entire house along with that stuff, and checks every single place very carefully to ensure no dirt is left behind. Just then, his friend arrives there and seeing Li Yanshu working, says to Gu Chengze, "You are so pathetic. Who makes their girlfriend work so much? You have lowered the standard of all men." And as he is leaving, he also advises Li Yanshu, "You should leave him because you deserve better." Hearing his words, Li Yanshu starts smiling, and Gu Chengze gets very angry. He says to her, "What are you doing? Work quietly." After doing all the work, Li Yanshu says to Gu Chengze, "Are you hungry? Shall I make noodles for you?" But he refuses her and says, "Please do not come on my bed tonight at all." Li Yanshu didn't remember anything about going to Gu Chengze's bed yesterday, so she says, "I can't even go to your bed, not even in my dreams." After this, when Li Yanshu goes to sleep, she remembers how much Gu Chengze had cared for her last night. That's why she makes a very nice breakfast for him in the morning. But Gu Chengze refuses and says, "I am not hungry." And then he tells her 3 things and also asks her to remember them. The first thing was, "I am your boss." Second, "Don't touch me again and again." And the third thing is, "You are here for only a few days, so behave well." Then, as he is leaving, he says to Li Yanshu, "The money you have wasted on all this food, if you don't eat all this food yourself, I will deduct the money for this food from your salary." Then we see Jin-yun who comes to the office on time for the first time without being called. That too for Li Yanshu. This makes Gu Chengze quite happy because this is what he wanted. Going to the office, Jin-yun deliberately, to annoy Li Yanshu, says to her, "How can you stop the production of the sample? This sample belongs to someone else. You can't find faults in it." And then he also sends all those samples for production. Li Yanshu tells him, "This happiness of yours is not going to last for long. After production, when faults are found in it, then you will know." Li Yanshu thought that no one would buy that product, but on the first day of production, it gets a lot of sales. This made everyone happy, and Gu Chengze invites everyone to dinner to celebrate this happiness. There, Judan says to Li Yanshu, "You said that there would be no sales. All the products would be defective, but everything went well. That's why now you have to pay everyone's bill." Li Yanshu tells her, "Our boss will pay this entire bill. How can we pay when he is here?" But then Gu Chengze also says, "No, it's not like that. If you want to pay the bill, you can." Now Li Yanshu had to pay, so she gets irritated looking at everyone because everyone was eating a lot. When Li Yanshu sees the bill, her heartbeat stops for a second. But then she pays the bill. But Gu Chengze is shocked to see this. Where did Li Yanshu get so much money from? After paying the bill, Li Yanshu didn't even have money for a taxi. Everyone had left from there, so she comes to Gu Chengze and says, "Can you give me a lift?" Now everyone has left. No one can even see us together. But Gu Chengze tells her, "You have a lot of money. You can come home," and leaves her there. When Li Yanshu comes home, she gets very angry at Gu Chengze. "How can you leave me alone there? My money was finished, that's why I asked you for a lift." Gu Chengze asks her, "Where did you get so much money from?" Li Yanshu lies, "My friend gave me this money." He says, "If you have such a good friend, then why are you staying here with me? Pack your bags and go and stay at this friend's place." After hearing this, Li Yanshu had no other option but to tell the truth. So she says, "I stole this money from your locker. I didn't even have money to go to the office, so I took a loan of 30,000 yuan from your locker, and I left a note for you there." She says to him crying, "I will return this money to you soon, or you can deduct it from my salary." In the next scene, we see that right after the product selling, complaints from all the customers start coming in because the product was not right. Lee Yanshu had already refused for this. When Lee Yanshu comes to the office, Gu Chengze gets very angry at her and says, "You knew about the production being bad, then why didn't you tell me about it?" She says, "I told Jinyun about this and the production was moved forward on his permission." Gu Chengze says angrily to her, "You are my assistant. You should have come and told me about this first. But you didn't think it was necessary to tell me because you're not taking this job seriously. But it's my fault, because I hired you." He gives her a big lecture and asks her to leave. Lee Yanshu was very sad and was drinking outside. Just then, Gu Chengze's friend comes to her and asks about her. She tells him about her job and her boss, and says she is very upset. He says, "These kinds of small problems come and go in life. You will have to face them all." Lee Yanshu apologizes to him, saying, "I lied to you because Gu Chengze is not my boyfriend. He is my boss. And he was right today when he said that I am not serious about my job." But then that friend motivates her for her job. And right there, Lee Yanshu sees a poster from which she gets an idea for her design. Then she stays up all night and makes some sketches and, like before, scatters things here and there in the room and makes the whole room dirty and goes to sleep. In the morning when Gu Chengze comes to wake her up, he gets very angry seeing the condition of the room. He enters while spraying sanitizer in the room. There, his eyes fall on Lee Yanshu's sketchbook, and he is completely shocked to see her sketch because Zhu Dan had shown him a photo of this same sketch in her interview. He realizes that maybe Lee Yanshu was telling the truth. She didn't copy the design. The next day, Lee Yanshu comes to her office with great dedication, and she shows the sketches she made while staying up all night to Gu Chengze. But he ignores them and starts scolding Lee Yanshu, saying, "You should keep your room clean." She says, "We should talk about home matters at home. This is the office. Only talk about work here." Then the meeting starts. There, everyone was finding faults in the product. Lee Yanshu says there, "We should get that model, who is also Jinyun's girlfriend, to advertise this product of ours because she has a lot of followers, so if we get her to advertise, it will be good for our product." But Jinyun refuses to do this. He says, "She is my girlfriend, so I can't get her to advertise for my company." But Gu Chengze agrees to this and gives Lee Yanshu permission to get that model to advertise their product. She is very happy about this, that even after everyone refused, Gu Chengze accepted her idea. After the meeting, Jinyun says to Lee Yanshu, "You deliberately chose my girlfriend, otherwise you could have chosen someone else." But she doesn't think it's necessary to argue with him, so she leaves without saying anything. Then Gu Chengze asks his assistant to find information about their previous product, from which he finds out that Zhu Dan was the one who copied. When Lee Yanshu comes home, she sees that her room was very well cleaned, and she also gets a gift there, which was a phone, and this gift was given to her by Gu Chengze. Gu Chengze tells her, "I cleaned your room so that you can learn how to clean. And don't be too happy about this gift because the money for this phone will be deducted from your salary." Lee Yanshu gets annoyed at this and says, "Take your phone back, I don't want it." Gu Chengze says, "Nothing can be done now. The money has been deducted from your salary, so keep it safe now." After this, Lee Yanshu goes to the model with her ad offer. But before that, Jinyun had called her and told her, "Before you, Lee Yanshu was giving this ad offer to someone else, but that model rejected this ad, so now she is giving it to you." Hearing this, the model gets very angry and she does not accept Lee Yanshu's offer. Now Lee Yanshu comes back upset. In the office, everyone asks her, "Did the model agree to the advertisement?" But she tells them, "No, she refused." At this, Zhu Dan says to her, "You went to her with great confidence, but what happened now? She refused, didn't she?" Then Jinyun also comes to bother her. He says, "What happened, Lee Yanshu? Why are you upset?" A worker tells her, "The model did not accept Lee Yanshu's offer." Jinyun already knew about this because he was the one who made it happen. In the next scene, we see that Gu Chengze is sitting at home and Lee Yanshu brings dinner for him. And sitting there, she starts praising him. Gu Chengze understands that Lee Yanshu is not doing all this without a reason. He asks her, "Tell me what you want. Why are you bothering me?" Lee Yanshu requests him. She tells him, "This model is not agreeing with me, but if the CEO of Shenzhong Company convinces her, she will agree." But Gu Chengze refuses her, saying, "If I have to do every work, then what are you for?" But then Lee Yanshu starts doing emotional drama in front of him. At this, Gu Chengze tells her to calm down. "Okay, we will think about this tomorrow." In the morning, Lee Yanshu comes to Gu Chengze's room to wake him up, but he is not there. When no one is there, Lee Yanshu starts looking at his measurement machine. She thinks that it is a dancing machine and she starts dancing on it, due to which the machine breaks completely. She spoils Gu Chengze's such an important machine and leaves from there. When she comes out, she sees that Gu Chengze is already ready to go to the model. She becomes very happy seeing him, but then Gu Chengze makes her do all his servants' work. Here, when Lee Yanshu's mom comes home, She finds out that Li Yanshu has left the house for good. She gets very worried about this and goes to her room and starts looking for something. She looks in a box because in that box, Li Yanshu only kept things that were very important to her. In that box, Mom finds a photo of Li Yanshu and Jinyun together. Seeing this, she plans to meet Jinyun. When Li Yanshu and Gu Chengze come to the model's house, they see that there was already a huge crowd of fans there. Now it was impossible for them to go inside, so Li Yanshu pretends to be pregnant. And with this act, they both go inside. When the model finds out that he is the CEO of Shang Company, she starts showing even more attitude. Li Yanshu convinces her for her ad, but she says with attitude, "I don't want to work with cheaters and people who copy others' sketches." Li Yanshu feels very bad, but she thinks to herself, the company should not suffer because of me. So she apologizes to the model and says, "If you don't want to work with me, then don't. You just sign this project, I will give this project to someone else." But Gu Chengze tells her to be quiet and says to the model, "I thought it would be nice to work with you, but you have such a rude behavior. On top of that, your age has also increased a lot. You will get work for at most 4 to 5 more years. After that, nothing can happen to you." Hearing all these things, the model gets very angry. Gu Chengze grabs Li Yanshu's hand and brings her outside and says to her, "That model was insulting you so much? Then why didn't you say anything to her? How can you talk to her so nicely?" Li Yanshu tells him, "Before this, you have also accused me. You have insulted me, but I am talking to you nicely, right?" Then she starts to leave, saying, "I am just a staff. You don't need to worry about me. You just focus on your work." Then we see the model who is very angry at Gu Chengze's words. Just then her assistant goes and explains to her, "Your age has really gone up. Maybe you won't get any other good work now, so you should sign this project." Gu Chengze and Li Yanshu were quite late in returning home and their car's fuel had also run out, so they both planned to stay in a hotel. But even in the hotel, they face a problem because there was only one room available in the hotel. That's why Gu Chengze doesn't stay there and comes and sits in his car. Gu Chengze was very hungry. Li Yanshu starts eating junk food from outside, but he doesn't eat junk food. Li Yanshu couldn't stay in the car, so she goes and stays in that room. Just then it starts raining there and Gu Chengze was very hungry, so he starts eating Li Yanshu's leftover junk food. It was raining outside and there was a loud thunder which makes him remember his childhood accident, and he gets very scared. And in panic, he gets up and goes to Li Yanshu's room and faints there. In the morning, when he opens his eyes, he's shocked to see himself in the hotel room and says to Li Yanshu, "Why did you bring me here? I know you brought me here." Li Yanshu also lies, "Yes, I know. I am the one who brought you. You were getting wet in the rain. That's why I brought you here." Her lie causes Gu Chengze to have reactions again, and his head starts spinning, due to which he falls right there. Then, we see that Li Yanshu's mom comes to meet Jinyun. Jinyun also recognizes her as Li Yanshu's mom, who used to come to meet him at parent-teacher meetings. Mom shows Jinyun a photo of him and Li Yanshu together and says, "Li Yanshu keeps very few things with her, only those which are very important to her. And seeing this photo, I thought that maybe you are a very good friend of hers." Hearing all these things, Jinyun feels very good. He thinks that maybe Li Yanshu still likes him. Mom says to him, "If you find out anything about Li Yanshu, please let me know." Saying this, she gives Jinyun her contact number and leaves. When Li Yanshu returns to the company, she finds out that the model has agreed to her ad video shoot. She is very happy about this. She also tells Jinyun about this, but this time Jinyun, instead of bothering her, congratulates her and leaves. She is a little shocked by this, how his behavior suddenly changed. Then Li Yanshu comes home. Gu Chengze's health was not well, so he did not go to the office today. Li Yanshu had brought medicine for him. She gives him the medicine, then tells him, "The model has signed our company's contract." After this, she asks, "Last night when you were in the car, why did you come to my room?" To this, Gu Chengze, instead of answering, asks her a question in return. "Why did you let a man into your room so late at night? Have you started loving me secretly?" She becomes completely silent at this and leaves, stamping her feet. The next day when Li Yanshu comes to the office, Jinyun shows her the same photo that his mom had given him, and says, "Your mom told me that you only keep things that are very important to you. So do you still like me?" Li Yanshu says, "Even though I have kept this photo with me till now, I don't have any feelings for you in my heart anymore. So don't be under this kind of misunderstanding." Saying this, she leaves. Then their model's photo shoot starts. And in the middle of the shoot, Jinyun is bothering Li Yanshu by repeatedly telling her to do some work or the other. Just then, the model's foot suddenly slips and she falls from the stairs, but she falls on Li Yanshu, due to which she is not injured, but Li Yanshu injures her leg. When Gu Chengze finds out about this, he leaves his important meeting and reaches the hospital to see her. There, Li Yanshu had eaten fruits and thrown the peels here and there, and had made a lot of mess, seeing which he starts pouring sanitizer on himself. Li Yanshu tells him, My leg got injured while working in your company, so you will have to pay my medical expenses. Gu Chengze agrees to this and leaves. The next day, Li Yanshu orders food for herself, but her order is not confirmed. So she calls Gu Chengze and asks him to bring some good food for her. Gu Chengze refuses her, saying, I am your boss. Have you mistaken me for a delivery boy? Li Yanshu says flatteringly, look at my condition. I can't walk. If I could walk, I would have bought and eaten it myself. And she starts doing a lot of drama, so Gu Chengze cuts her call. She thinks, why is this man so rude? He can't even do this much for me. But after some time, Gu Chengze brings food for her. But when he comes here, he sees that Li Yanshu is already busy stuffing her face with food. But when Gu Chengze comes near, she puts that food aside and starts eating his food. Gu Chengze says, you were already eating food. Li Yanshu tells him, I had no option, so I was eating hospital food, but I don't like it at all. Then she eats the food brought by Gu Chengze, which she likes very much. She starts telling him that his food is very good, but Gu Chengze says, you shouldn't talk while eating. To this she says, yes, okay, you are handsome, so I will agree to whatever you say. Just then, Gu Chengze gets a call from his grandmother. After talking to them, he tells Li Yanshu, my mom and dad died when I was young. Then the Gu family adopted me. They have made me what I am today. When Li Yanshu finds out that both of Gu Chengze's mom and dad are dead, she feels a little bad for him. Then she tells him, my mom and dad are also dead. Gu Chengze asks her, how did they die? Just then, Li Yanshu gets a call from her mom, and Gu Chengze finds out that she is lying. This makes him very angry. He takes the food he brought and starts to leave, but Li Yanshu grabs him and stops him and bites his hand, which makes him scream. Hearing his voice, a nurse comes there and tells them not to fight here. After this, Gu Chengze cleans himself and leaves. Right after he leaves, Li Yanshu's mom comes to meet her. A few days later, Li Yanshu gets leave from the hospital and comes home. She tries to talk to Gu Chengze, but Gu Chengze looks at her and says, I don't want to talk to liars. After this, when he comes to see his measurement machine, he sees that it is completely broken. Seeing this, he is very surprised as to who did this to it, and he shouts and calls for Li Yanshu and asks her, have you touched this? Li Yanshu tells him, I just bumped into it a little. He shouts at her, do you even know how expensive this machine is? On top of that, it's not even available anywhere here. I had it imported from abroad. You not only lie, but you have also troubled me. Hearing all this, Li Yanshu gets a little upset and says, I'm sorry, to him and leaves. But a little later, she comes back and asks, very excitedly, why do you use this machine? What's wrong with you? At this, he shouts and tells her to leave, and she runs away. The next day, when Li Yanshu comes to the office, she gets her salary. Some money had been deducted from her salary, so she goes and starts fighting with Gu Chengze about it, and says, did you break my machine? That's why you are cutting my money? And she starts roaming around Gu Chengze to annoy him. Just then, she falls to the ground with Gu Chengze, and her assistant comes there and sees them both like this. He says, sorry, I ruined your moment. I'm leaving. You guys continue. Gu Chengze tells him, it's not what you are thinking. But by then, he closes the gate and leaves. After this, they both stand up, and Gu Chengze tells her, if you have any problem, then talk to me about it at home. When Gu Chengze comes home, Li Yanshu asks him to read a joke on her phone, which she was finding very funny. But at that time, he is coughing, so Gu Chengze stays away from her and says, I don't read jokes like this. I am not boring like you. Saying this, he leaves. The next day, another of Li Yanshu's product's video shoot takes place. After this, she is praying for herself. May our video set the internet on fire. May it get a lot of love. And that's what happens. Everyone likes that ad video a lot. And their video gets more than 10 million views, which makes everyone in the company happy too. And Li Yanshu is very happy. Sitting in the office, Gu Chengze is also watching the same video on his laptop, which has now increased their company's sales even more. Then he comes home and sees that Li Yanshu is still sleeping. He wakes her up and gives her a dress, and tells her, get ready in 5 minutes, we have to go to a party together. Then they both go to the party. This party was given by Gu Chengze himself for Li Yanshu's good work. This made Zhu Dan and Jun Yao very jealous. After this, Li Yanshu starts working on her new design with great effort. Then there is an event where everyone had to show their designs. There, Zhu Dan again changes Li Yanshu's design and puts a design exactly like their models. This makes their model think that Li Yanshu stole her design. She gets very angry about this and slaps Li Yanshu and says, you stole my design too. I will get you fired from the company. Li Yanshu tries to explain her point. We are both launching our products at the same time. In such a situation, why would I copy your design? But no one believes her, and Zhu Dan is very happy about all this. Just then, Gu Chengze comes there and tells them Li Yanshu did not copy, but Zhu Dan did. And he also shows the CCTV footage of it, and everyone comes to know that it is not Li Yanshu's fault. Then, Zhu Dan is fired from the company. Gu Chengze asks the model to apologize to Li Yanshu for slapping her. After this, they both go for coffee. Li Yanshu asks him, "Why did you do all this for me?" Gu Chengze says, "You are honest about your work. And if you fix your habit of lying, you can become even better. And from next time, if you have any problem, don't just handle it alone. Tell me about it." Li Yanshu thanks him for all this. Then they both leave for their work from there. The next day, Li Yanshu's mom comes to their company to meet her and tells her she should leave this company and join Han Corporation, which is their husband's company. But Li Yanshu refuses to do so. Mom says, "Are you staying in this company because of Jin Yun? If so, I will not ask you to leave this company." To this, Li Yanshu says, "You never cared about me, so you don't need to care about me now either. And what you are thinking is the truth, so now, don't ask me to leave this company." Saying this, she leaves, and Gu Chengze also hears these things. The next day, Jin Yun brings a flower bouquet and places it in front of Li Yanshu, which impresses the other people a lot. And they think, what is going on between these two? Then Gu Chengze asks him about it. "Are you going to start some drama?" Jin Yun explains, "I am trying to bring Li Yanshu back into my life, and you will have to help me in this." He says, "I can't help you in this," and leaves from there. After this, he goes to meet his doctor and tells them, "When other people lie, I don't have as many reactions, but when Li Yanshu lies, I have a very strong reaction. So is there a problem with her or with me?" The doctor says, "I think maybe she is your enemy." The next day, Jin Yun comes to Gu Chengze's house to meet him. There he sees ladies' sandals and is very surprised and says to him, "I can't believe you are living with a woman. And how did I not know about this? Maybe you have kept this a very good secret." Gu Chengze, to get rid of him, says, "If you have any work, say it quickly. Otherwise leave. I am going to sleep." Jin Yun asks him, "Are you going to sleep with that same lady?" At that time, Li Yanshu was at Gu Chengze's friend's house, and when she finds out that Jin Yun has come here, she stays there for a little longer. After this, Gu Chengze somehow gets Jin Yun out of his house. After he leaves, Li Yanshu comes back to Gu Chengze's house. Gu Chengze shouts at her, "Do you even know what big trouble I could have gotten into because of you?" Before she could say anything, Jin Yun comes back there and asks Li Yanshu, "What are you doing here?" Li Yanshu lies, "I have come here to talk about work." Jin Yun says, "What work have you come here to talk about wearing a mask on your face?" After this, he says to Gu Chengze, "So the lady who lives with you is her." Gu Chengze says, "Come inside, I'll tell you everything." But just then Jin Yun slaps him across the face. But Li Yanshu asks him to talk about it, so the three of them sit and talk about it. And Gu Chengze tells him everything. Li Yanshu was in trouble. She had no place to live, that's why he kept her at his house. Otherwise, there is nothing between them. Jin Yun understands this. Then he leaves, telling them both, "Even though I am not here, my eyes will always be on both of you from now on." At night, when Jin Yun is sleeping, he dreams that Li Yanshu and Gu Chengze are having dinner together and spending a good time. He wakes up scared from this. In the morning, when Gu Chengze is in the office, Jin Yun comes to meet him and says to him, "From now on, I will also live at your house." Gu Chengze gives him a contract and explains, "It contains all the rules that you will have to follow while living in my house. Only then can you live there." Seeing it, Gu Chengze gets scared and asks, "Is Li Yanshu following all these rules? Has she gone mad?" Gu Chengze says, "If you want to live in my house, then sign on this." Hearing this, Jin Yun puts the paper down and says, "I will think about this again," and leaves from there. Then at night, Gu Chengze brings a lot of food for Li Yanshu. She is about to eat with great joy when she gets a message from Jin Yun on her phone. He asks her, "What did you like from it? Tell me. I will send the same for you every day." Now, Li Yanshu finds out that Gu Chengze did not bring this food, but Jin Yun did. So she refuses to eat. Gu Chengze asks her, "Don't you like this? Then tell me, what do you like?" She says, "I like a lot of money, beautiful clothes, bags, shoes, big cars, and a nice building. And I also like your house very much." Hearing all this, he is shocked and says, "If you don't want to eat this food, then I'll feed it to the dogs." To this, Li Yanshu says, "Okay, I will give it to the dogs in the morning. It's very late now, so let's sleep." Saying this, she keeps the food in the fridge and Gu Chengze goes to sleep. After he leaves, Li Yanshu secretly takes out the food and starts eating it. The next day, Jin Yun brings a nice car for Li Yanshu. It was the same kind of car she had told Gu Chengze yesterday that she liked. So she finds out that Gu Chengze is sharing her words with Jin Yun. So she gets angry with him and leaves his house. Li Yanshu goes to Gu Chengze's friend's house and complains about Gu Chengze to him. "I thought he was a very good man, but he shares my secrets with Jin Yun. I didn't think he would do that." Here, when Li Yanshu doesn't return home for a long time, Gu Chengze starts worrying about her. He calls her, but Li Yanshu doesn't pick up his call. Then he goes out to look for her and is asking everyone by showing her photo, "Have you seen this girl?" But when he can't find her, he comes back. After some time, Lee Yanshu also comes back. At this, he scolds her a lot. "You are a girl? You shouldn't disappear like this so late at night." This leads to another argument between them, and Lee Yanshu leaves the house again and stays out all night. In the morning, a lady tells her, "Last night a boy who was very handsome was looking for you." Hearing this, Lee Yanshu feels that Gu Chengze worries about her a lot, so she comes back to say sorry to him. But she is unable to say anything in front of him, and he goes back to the office. After he leaves, she also goes to the office and tries to talk to Gu Chengze, but he doesn't give her any response. Then at night, Lee Yanshu prepares dinner for him and asks him, "Were you looking for me last night? Were you worried about me?" Gu Chengze says, "You don't need to think too much about this. If my dog or cat had been lost in your place, I would have gone to look for it too." The next day, their company's product sales are very good, on which Gu Chengze gives a party to Lee Yanshu and Jinyun. There they start talking about their school days, where Jinyun tells Lee Yanshu about Gu Chengze. Gu Chengze was very famous in his school, and a girl used to write him love letters for many years, but Gu Chengze never read them. To this, Lee Yanshu says to him, "You are so rude. You didn't like that girl. So what kind of girls do you like? Is it possible that you like boys?" And they both start making fun of Gu Chengze. Looks like Gu Chengze likes boys. Irritated by both of them, Gu Chengze leaves from there. The next day, when Lee Yanshu was working in the company, Gu Chengze tells her, "You have to go for dinner tomorrow," on which she gets very dressed up and goes to the restaurant and is thinking about Gu Chengze. But after some time, Jinyun comes there, seeing whom she is shocked. Then they both come to the company's event together, where Jinyun gives a very good speech which impresses everyone. After this, they both do a little couple dance together, but looking at Gu Chengze's face, it seemed that he was not happy to see Lee Yanshu with someone else. Just then, their grandmother comes there and slaps Lee Yanshu across the face and says to Jinyun, "What do you think? She really loves you? It's not like that. She is with you only for your money." She throws a check at Lee Yanshu's face and says to her, "Now get out of here." Lee Yanshu picks up that check and tears it right in front of them. This makes Grandma very angry. She raises her hand to hit her again, but by then, Gu Chengze comes in between and protects Lee Yanshu, and then says to his grandmother, "Please don't insult her like this. If you don't like her, I am taking her away from here." Saying this, Gu Chengze holds her hand and takes her away from there. And for whatever his grandmother did to Lee Yanshu, Gu Chengze says, "I'm sorry." But Lee Yanshu gets angry with him too and leaves from there, saying, "Don't follow me now." It gets very late, but still, Lee Yanshu doesn't return home. So Gu Chengze starts worrying about her. He's about to go out to look for her, but by then she comes home. The next day, when Lee Yanshu comes to the office to work, Grandma fires her from her company. Gu Chengze says to Grandma, "You shouldn't fire her from the company. It will affect our company's progress." Grandma says, "Our company is so big, it won't make any difference if a small employee leaves." After this, we see Lee Yanshu, who is sitting in a bar and drinking a lot, and is saying, "The people of the Gu family are very bad." After this, Gu Chengze's friend takes care of her and brings her home because Lee Yanshu was very drunk. Gu Chengze starts scolding his friend, "Why did you let her drink so much? Why didn't you stop her?" To this, he says, "Do you know why she drank? It wasn't her fault, yet she was insulted so much. She was even fired from her job. You are her boss, then why didn't you stop her?" He becomes completely silent at this because he has no answer. After his friend leaves, Gu Chengze picks her up and starts taking her to the bedroom. But just then she starts to vomit, so he leaves her and runs away. Then after some time, he picks her up and puts her to sleep properly in her room. But just then, in her sleep, Lee Yanshu grabs him and sleeps. In the morning, when she opens her eyes, she sees that Gu Chengze is lying next to her. A little later, when Gu Chengze wakes up, Lee Yanshu pretends to be asleep again. Seeing her, Gu Chengze says she sleeps in such a bad way. He covers her properly and leaves from there. When Lee Yanshu comes out of her bedroom, she sees that Gu Chengze has made breakfast for her. He tells her, "I will find another job for you soon." After this, Lee Yanshu's stepfather offers her a job in his Han Corporation. He also tells her that Gu Chengze's grandmother has canceled their company's collaboration with the Shenzhong company. Due to this, their company may suffer a huge loss. To talk about this, Lee Yanshu comes to Grandma. She tells her, "The quality of Han Corporation's products is very good. Also, its price is right. Even after this, if you take back the contract from them, it is not right." Grandma says, "Shenzhong is my company. We can collaborate with whomever we want." Lee Yanshu says, "You have taken out your anger on Han Corporation only because of me, but this will also cause a loss to your company." At this, Grandma gets angry and throws a drink on her face and asks her to leave. By then, Gu Chengze also reaches there. He first gives Lee Yanshu a hanky to clean her face. Then he says to Grandma, "I didn't like what you did either. First, You fired an important client of the company on your own whim. After that, you're also spoiling these important contracts. All this can cause a huge loss to our company. After explaining to Grandma, both of them leave from there. Then, Jinyun calls Li Yanshu to talk. Junyao is also there. Jinyun says to Li Yanshu, "My grandmother fired you from the company, but I will give you permission to come back to the company." Junyao says, "Your grandmother will not let you do this." At this, Jinyun gets a little frustrated and says to her, "You keep quiet. Let me talk to Li Yanshu." Then he says to Li Yanshu, "Now that you are free, shall we go for a walk together? I will book a whole island for you. We will have a lot of fun there." To this, Li Yanshu says to him, "Did you call me just to tell me this?" So Jinyun says, "No, I was just missing you." After this, Junyao and Jinyun get up and leave, to which Li Yanshu says, "Hey, where did you go after eating and drinking? Did you both call me here just to pay the bill?" Gu Chengze comes home and sees that Li Yanshu has made a lot of mess by eating junk food. He first cleans the whole house, then Li Yanshu comes there again and sits and starts eating junk food. Seeing her, Gu Chengze thinks, "This is my house, yet I am tolerating all her bad habits? I could never do all this. Have I fallen in love?" Then he thinks, "No, how can I fall in love with a girl like her? Who is so dirty, doesn't take care of cleanliness. On top of that, how much she lies." The next day, Gu Chengze comes home and sees Li Yanshu crying while watching a drama. So he also sits with her and starts watching that drama. He asks her, "Why do you like dramas?" She says, "I have nothing to do, so I'm just sitting here wasting my time." Gu Chengzi says, "I will call you back to company soon." Li Yanshu says, "It doesn't matter to me whether I return to my job or not. I don't want you to get into a difficult situation because of me." He asks, "What difficult situation?" Li Yanshu says, "I know your relationship with the Gu family. I also know that your grandmother is very important in your heart. If you don't follow her orders, there will be a problem. That's why you don't need to think about me. I will find a new job for myself." Just then, Jinyun also comes there. Li Yanshu says to him, "Why did you come here? If your grandmother finds out about this, she will make my life miserable." Jinyun says, "On behalf of my grandmother, I apologize to you, and I will always protect you. I will be loyal to you." To this, Li Yanshu says, "You don't need to do all this. You just need to listen to your grandmother and stay away from me." Jinyun asks, "Are you thinking of leaving me? Will you break our love relationship because of my grandmother?" Li Yanshu asks in surprise. "There was never any relationship between us." He says, "You don't even admit that?" To this, Li Yanshu says, "You two brothers sit and talk. I am going to sleep." Saying this, she leaves from there. Then Gu Chengze asks him, "How did Grandma let you come here? Does she know about this?" Jinyun says, "No, she doesn't know about this." Gu Chengze asks, "That day at the event, Li Yanshu came with you. So had she accepted your proposal?" To this, Jinyun says, "She had a good meal with me and also came to the event with me. So maybe that means she accepted?" Gu Chengze says nothing to this and gets up and leaves. Jinyun stops him and says, "Wait, I need to talk to you more." But Gu Chengze doesn't listen to him. Jinyun asks, "Where will I sleep tonight?" He says, "Sleep wherever you feel comfortable." In the morning, Jinyun is sleeping late, so Gu Chengze comes to him and says, "Wake up, Li Yanshu has to make breakfast now and clean up here. If you keep lying here, she will pick you up and throw you in the dustbin." To this, Jinyun says, "Do you make my Li Yanshu do all the household chores?" He says, "She is living in my house for free anyway, so she should do some work in return. And if you stay here, you will have to work too." Gu Chengze was drinking juice in a glass. He hands the glass to Jinyun and says, "Clean this and put it away," and leaves from there. After this, when Jinyun comes out, he meets Junyao there. It is revealed that Jinyun's grandmother has hired Junyao to spy on him. Junyao asks him, "Where were you all night yesterday? And why didn't you answer my call?" Jinyun says, "I just have a habit of putting my phone on silent when I sleep." "And how did you know I was here? Have you put some GPS device on me?" Junyao says, "You don't need to know my methods." Just then, Li Yanshu comes out to throw the garbage. Seeing her, Junyao asks Jinyun, "Why is she here? Were you two together?" He says, "This is Gu Chengzi's house. I am not lying to you, I was with my brother." Junyao says, "What is so special about Li Yanshu that your brother has kept her with him?" Jinyun says, "There is only a boss and secretary relationship between them. So you should not spread such rumors and you should not tell my grandmother about this either." To this, Junyao says, "If you behave well, then I will listen to you." Jinyun says, "Okay, now I'll keep my phone on ringer, and I'll answer your call at any time." Then Li Yanshu comes to meet her mom and says, "I heard that you are not well." Mom explains, "It was just a slight fever. I am fine now." Then Mom says to Li Yanshu, "Jinyun's grandmother is very bad. She fired you from the company, yet why are you trying to rejoin their company? Instead, you can also join your father's company. After all, we are a family." She doesn't give any answer to Mom's words. She is just busy eating her apple, and in the end she says, "If you are well, then I am leaving from here." She picks up her purse and leaves from there. Grandma had hired another girl as was a fashion designer. That designer was coming to their company today, so she had organized everything very well. But when the designer comes there, Grandma is shocked to see her because she was Li Yanshu. She had just changed her name. Grandma asks, "How did she get here? And where is the designer we were going to call?" The assistant has no answer to this. Just then, Li Yanshu says to Grandma with a smile, "Thank you for inviting me back to your company. I hope we will work well together in the future." Now, she had also called a lot of media and reporters there who were taking their photos at that time, so Grandma, despite not wanting to, has to agree to Li Yanshu's words and shake hands with her. Then she also signs her contract with her. After everyone leaves from there, Grandma scolds her. To which Li Yanshu says, "Why are you angry with me? I have come here on your invitation." Grandma says to her, "You have done all this deceitfully." Li Yanshu says to her, "I know you don't like me, but now I am your business partner, so you can't behave like this with me. I remind you that the rules of the contract we have signed this time are very strict. If you cancel that contract, you will suffer a huge loss, and you have personally invited me to your company, so I want to tell you something." She asks, "What do you want to tell? Tell me quickly." Li Yanshu says, "I don't like Jinyun at all, so you can relax about this." Grandma says, "I know you don't like Jinyun. You just want to become the lady boss of our company. You love his property." Li Yanshu says with a smile, "After being the owner of Shenshong Company for so many years, have you gotten used to this? Why do you think that all the women and girls in the world die for this? Everyone's choice is different. For you, this may be an expensive status, but in the eyes of others, it may have no meaning." Grandma says, "If you don't like Jinyun, you shouldn't have been in this company." She says, "Business is its own place. I am not interested in your grandson, and I need this post to advance in my career. And you have helped me to come to this company, so I will always be grateful to you." Grandma says angrily, "What do you think? I will really let you move forward with your career." Li Yanshu says, "You are angry at this time, and now your words have no meaning. And now you have to change your behavior towards me, and we should leave all these things and focus on our work." Saying all this, she leaves from there. Then, when Gu Chengze sees her in this company, he is a little shocked. He says to Li Yanshu, "You should have told me too that you were coming here." Gu Chengze was a little angry that Li Yanshu had come to this company by changing her name. He says to her, "You like to lie and create drama. All this is normal for you." Li Yanshu says, "Yes, you are thinking right. I just don't want to talk to you anymore." Saying this, she starts to leave. He stops her to talk about something else, but she doesn't stop. Then she meets Jinyun. He says to her, "I heard that Grandma has hired you back in the company. That's so good. I knew that you would find some way to come back here." But Li Yanshu answers this very rudely, so Jinyun asks, "What happened? Are you not happy? Who bothered you?" To this, Li Yanshu answers irritably, "You bothered me. Don't talk to me." Saying this, she leaves from there too. When she is leaving the company, she looks very upset, because today when she came back to the company, people there were talking very mean things about her, which hurt her a lot. Then we see Gu Chengze, who was leaving the company, when he sees a little girl playing with a ball on the road. Seeing her, he remembers a scene from his past, and then he runs towards the girl, because a car was coming towards her on the road. He quickly picks up the girl and moves her aside, and she is saved. Then he explains to her, "You shouldn't play on the road." In return for saving her life, the girl gives Gu Chengze a lollipop, but it accidentally falls down. So she asks, "Uncle, don't you like this?" But Gu Chengze picks it up saying, "I liked this." But Gu Chengze never picked up things that had fallen on the ground once. Just then his assistant also comes there and the girl goes to her mom. The assistant says, praising Gu Chengze, "I never thought you were so good. You saved her like a hero. Why didn't I notice this before?" To this, he asks, "So did I look like a villain or a monster to you before?" To this, he says, No, it's not like that. You have always been very kind." Then Gu Chengze eats that lollipop, seeing which his assistant is very shocked and says, "This had fallen on the road." Gu Chengze says, "But it was packed." Li Yanshu also liked to eat lollipops, so Gu Chengze thinks while eating it, "Is she having an effect on me?" He is eating lollipops on the way too, to which his assistant says, "You have changed a lot." He asks, "How so?" The assistant says, "Before, your mind was never disturbed during a meeting, and now you are not as strict as before. And now you are also enjoying the lollipop that had fallen on the ground." The assistant also says, "Before, you used to get angry at everyone, but you never got angry at your secretary Li Yanshu. There are also rumors about you two in our company." He asks, "What kind of rumors?" The assistant explains, "That there is definitely some relationship between you two. I know you very well, that's why I don't believe these things yet. But it is true that compared to other people, you behave better with Li Yanshu." Hearing all this, Gu Chengze says, "Shut up and focus on driving." Then we see Li Yanshu, whose mom had called her to a coffee shop to talk about something. Coming there, Li Yanshu asks, "Tell me, why did you call me so urgently?" Mom says, you could have a good status in Han Corporation. But still, why did you join Shenshan Company? Li Yanshu asked them, did you call me here just to talk about this? Mom says, I raised you and educated you and made you so capable, but you are so bad that you did nothing for me in return. And instead of joining your family business, you gave more importance to going to Shenshan Corporation. Do you do all this to trouble me? Li Yanshu says, I remember how you educated me. When I was abroad, you didn't send me a single penny for my studies. To this, Mom says, leave that, I did get you admitted to school, right? To this, she says, I am not interested in your Han Corporation at all. That's why I will not join it. Saying this, she leaves from there. After this, at Jinyun's behest, Gu Chengze, Li Yanshu, and Junyao, all three come to a grape farm. There, everyone picks grapes together. Gu Chengze was picking grapes wearing gloves in his hand, keeping cleanliness in mind, and Li Yanshu, instead of picking grapes, was busy eating them. Jinyun was finding and giving sweet grapes to Li Yanshu to eat there, and Li Yanshu was feeding him sour grapes, and both enjoy a lot together. And Gu Chengze is standing far away and watching them. After this, he goes and starts talking to Junyao. He asks her, why do you hate Li Yanshu so much? She says, because she is very bad. He asks, is there any other reason besides this? Junyao says, she has come into my family and snatched my father from me. Gu Chengze says, yes, and now she is snatching Jinyun from you too. That's why you are even angrier. To this she says, no, you are thinking wrong. Then Gu Chengze says, everyone else likes Li Yanshu, and only you don't. So this could also mean that you are wrong. Junyao says, why are you taking her side? He explains to her, you should get to know and understand Li Yanshu once, because her problems are no less than yours. Hearing this, Junyao asks him, do you like Li Yanshu? To avoid her question, he gets up from there and starts looking at the grapes. When they all come back home, they see that their grandmother is already sitting there. Seeing them, they are all shocked and also very scared. Just then, Grandma gets up and slaps Gu Chengze hard across the face and angrily asks him, how did this Li Yanshu come into your house? You know that I don't like this girl, yet how can you keep her in your house? Then she tells Gu Chengze to get Li Yanshu out of his house. He doesn't say anything about this, nor does he ask her to leave, so Li Yanshu herself packs her bags and starts to leave. Jinyun tries to stop her once, but she leaves. Then Grandma says to Gu Chengze, you not only kept her in the company, but you are also keeping her in your house and you are also giving her permission to meet Jinyun. What do you want to do after all? Gu Chengze says, I am doing what you asked me to do. You wanted Jinyun to take over the company's work as soon as possible, right? That's why I kept Li Yanshu in the company so that Jinyun would also start coming to the company for her. At this, Grandma also scolds him. So he asks, why don't you like Li Yanshu and Jinyun being together? Grandma says, a girl like this cannot come into our family. After this, Li Yanshu is sitting in a bar. Gu Chengze also comes there and says to her, you shouldn't wander outside with your luggage so late at night. It can be dangerous. Li Yanshu says, why are you worried about me? He says, if there was any other girl in your place, I would protect her. And you are my secretary. After this, they both go to another place from there, and for the first time, Gu Chengze also drinks with Li Yanshu. Li Yanshu asks him, are you angry with me? He says, no, I am not angry with you, but I am angry with myself. She is sitting right in front of him and asks, why are you angry with yourself? He says, I am afraid that I might do something that will hurt Jinyun. Li Yanshu looks into his eyes and says, has anyone told you that your eyelashes are very beautiful? He says, no, only you have said that. Saying this, Gu Chengze gives her a small kiss on her lips and then starts to move away from her. But just then Li Yanshu holds his face and kisses him on the lips, and after some time she falls asleep right there. Seeing her, Gu Chengze smiles slightly and then takes her and puts her in his car. Li Yanshu says, my stomach is hurting. He says, okay, let's go home then. Li Yanshu says, no, I don't want to go to your house. She didn't want to go to Gu Chengze's house, so he books a room for her in a hotel. Then he comes to his house and goes to his friend and asks for his help. Hearing this, his friend is shocked and says, how come big people like you have come to ask for help from people like us today? He explains, Li Yanshu is staying in a hotel today, but I don't want that. So can you let her stay at your house for one night? The friend says, you must have made her angry again, that's why she left. To this, Gu Chengze says, will you help me or not? Just tell me that. His friend says, you suddenly came to ask for my help, so I should think about this a little. He gives him only 2 minutes. The friend asks, if I let her stay at my house, will you have any problem with that? To this, Gu Chengze says, there will be a problem, but you are right next to my room, so I can come here anytime to see her. And in these talks, 2 minutes are over, and he leaves without listening to him, and comes to his room and is thinking about Li Yanshu. Here, Li Yanshu is in the hotel room. Her stomach is hurting. Just then, a staff brings medicine for her. At this, Lee Yanshu thinks, how does she know my stomach is hurting? Have these people installed a camera in the room? She tells her, Gu Chengze asked me to give you this medicine. At this, Lee Yanshu says thank you to her, and she takes the medicine. In the last scene, we see that when Lee Yanshu comes to the office, a girl gives her some designs, which she had printed out, to Lee Yanshu, and says, get these approved by Gu Chengze. Now, after what Lee Yanshu had done with Gu Chengze last night, she did not want to make eye contact with him. She sits there with the designs and, taking out her anger on herself, says, Lee Yanshu, what have you done? You had gone mad in your drunkenness. And with this scene, Season 1 of this drama ends.